guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Hot Toys MMS 428 of the Executioner Trooper from the upcoming Star Wars The Last Jedi film. For the package, you got a really cool image of the Executioner Trooper right there, and then you got Star Wars. You also have this little additional piece kind of attached to it where you got like a silhouette of them, and you can see it's got this nice chrome finish. Then you come around to the front, you got another image. I don't particularly like how they got the word Executioner kind of split up. That looks weird to me. I mean, I get why they did it, but that just looks strange to me. I don't particularly like that. Then you come around to the side, you got that other kind of silhouetted image. On the back of the package, you got various, warnings and contact information for Hot Toys. And then basically when you do the shimmy, you get the shimmy it. There we go. You can see setting that there. On the inside here, you got another really cool image of the Executioner Trooper in a more dynamic action sort of pose. And then you lower this little bit just like so, and you have the open clamshell that fully showcases the figure as well as all of his accessories. It's always really cool when we can get and I didn't even notice this, that it actually kind of continues on right here and you see more of his actual axe thing. That's kind of cool. But it's always cool when we're able to get a figure from a movie that hasn't released yet, because usually we're waiting like at best a year after a movie releases before we get any of the figures. So it's cool that they actually are getting this to us before the film. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Executioner Trooper opened up and out of its packaging. And I absolutely love the look of this guy. Now for his accessories, he really doesn't come with a lot, but what he does come with is really cool. So in addition to the two fairly relaxed hands that are currently on him, he comes with both a right and left trigger figure hand. You can see really nice detail coming in real close to take a look at that. You can see like this little plastic protective piece on the back side of his actual hand. You can see that his gloves are this two-toned black and white sort of glove. You can see you got a little opening there for the index finger. Great detail on here, as we would come to expect. You got some nice sculpting and molding in there that does make it kind of look like they're really leather gloves. So you do get those, which come in obviously handy for his gun, which we'll take a look at. He also comes with a right and left fisted hand, same amount of detail, just obviously sculpted in like a punching kind of pose. You also do get a right hand that is more designed to hold his little kind of energy axe, I guess. It's a kind of closed grip sort of thing. Works really nicely for holding it. You got another one that has that as well. One thing that's really cool is that you can see like this is more straight on where the actual wrist peg plugs in. This one really has it kind of going on an angle. So like when it goes in straight like that, you can see the hand is actually already angled up, which is really cool because it doesn't necessarily rely on the articulation of the joint to get a really cool pose. I like that a lot. That's thinking outside the box, which I appreciate. And then you do get just an open hand, but this one you can see a lot more extra detail on the palm, with such as like padding and things of that nature. Getting a real nice appreciation for the sculpt and molding that they put into these hands. Really, again, really very impressive. I mean, they're simple. I mean, they're hands, but they do a good job of them. You also do get a pair of extra wrist pegs in case anything happens to the ones that are currently on them. And then outside of his actual hands, he comes with a couple weapons. He comes with a gun, which this is absolutely gorgeous. Again, coming in, you can see great paint detail, very crisp and clean. You got a nice black wash on there with some nice silver details on like this bit right here. I mean, I don't know what any of that stuff is called, but you got a little silver bit, a little silver right there. The scope right here has some nice silver bits on there. Again, you can kind of see like some vents going through the actual barrel as you move that around. The light kind of hits that. That's really cool. Again, great detail throughout the whole thing. You can see a little kind of warning thing. You can rotate this around. This can clip in the back like so, and you have a longer, not really a rifle, but kind of like a way to support the gun when he's holding it. Obviously the opposite side here has these little clip things. Those don't remove or anything, so you do have like those little extra bits here on the side. Again, really very nice, but this isn't what he's going to really be using. But what I like is that they actually did put a storage option for you. So on the side here is a magnet, and blink, you can just do that. Now, obviously, you want to position it to make it look a little bit better, but that's cool. I like that. The use of the magnets really does kind of help kind of minimize some of the stuff in terms of what they would need to actually make that kind of holster there, so I really do appreciate that. And then the main accessory for him is his giant energy axe thing, which is really very cool. Looking at the molded detail and such here, you can see that this is the closed configuration. Got some little bits down here. I have no idea what any of that stuff is. Nice white handled. This actual black section here is recessed, so you kind of feel that in there. You got a little tiny little metal thingy right there, but great detail on this entire thing. Now, what I love is that it does open up, so you just rotate this piece out, rotate this out. It's kind of got different sizes. As you can see, this side here is a little bit smaller than this one, but I dig that. And then you rotate that down and kind of position that right there. And this is the open look for it. And again, you can see great paint variation actually on here. It's not metal, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to capture that. You can kind of see in certain light. Oh, you actually can. You can see that they captured kind of a rainbow effect in there that metal kind of gives. I love that. Really very cool. And then just great detail throughout the entire thing on the inside here. You can see some inner workings, some nice silver paint throughout the whole thing, some white kind of accenting. You look on the top section here, you see these little, I don't even know what you would call them, just little bits that have again, a very nice silver wash. It's kind of thrown on there again, giving it a very metal look, even though it's made out of plastic. But the cool part is that you do get little tiny energy effects, which is going to be difficult to see because they're small and they're semi-translucent. But you get a total of 4 of these, so you get 2 that are longer, and then you get 2 that are a little bit smaller, so you get a total of 4 of them, and they are fairly flexible. It's a plastic, but it is kind of a rubbery kind of plastic, to be totally honest with you, so they are flexible. That allows you to actually attach them to the little axe piece, and these really do help to sell the overall look. Now, to attach these little guys, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but what you basically have is a very small ball joint on here that you got the open socket right here at the tip of the little electric effect, and then you got the ball portion right there. Literally just put that on there. Be very careful because these are small, and they do recommend being very cautious when you're doing it. So again, bring that in, put that right there carefully. Take the other big section, put that underneath there, come around here to this bit, and then plug that in as well. And then you can kind of move these little bits around to kind of create a look like that. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, Optibotimus, use a different color background. Sorry, I can't. It's not here. I'll just go like that. You can see like that. So there's your different background. Now, the smaller ones, you can see fit on this little smaller kind of closing in very same way. It's got a little ball joint that you just attach this to. It does tend to get a little bit tricky as you're doing it. Just kind of, again, go slow with it because it is a small piece, and then the softer nature of these pieces actually kind of allow you to manipulate these a little bit more, so you can kind of bend that around a little. Don't go extreme with it, because obviously if you do and you break it, you're probably going to blame me, but just be careful when you're doing it. So just tab that in, and then kind of just flex that out, and there you have it. Again, I'll use this. There you have the little electric axe kind of thing, and this is obviously a thing that he's an executioner. He uses to chop someone's head off. So really cool how they actually did this. You're not going to be able to see it very well because I know the background, but I really like the way that looks, and I think it displays very nicely. You get it in his hand, it's really cool. The other thing that you get is his display stand. Now this is a really nice one. You can see you got like the little trooper sort of face right there, Star Wars. You got like this whole exploded section, which actually looks really very cool. It's like fractured, and you can see that it's breaking apart even where it says Star Wars. I love that. You got the Star Wars Executioner Trooper, you got the little adjustable cradle right here. This is actually permanently attached to the base, which I like a whole lot more than a lot of those, like the Rogue One ones that it's like a sticker or something, but I think it should just be permanently attached. I like that a whole lot more. But that's it. Now, coming to take a look at the figure himself, like I said, I love the new look for this. Well, I really shouldn't say new look because it's not like we've gotten them before, but this is a cool look. I love the additional black on here that really makes everything pop. You can see you got this black stripe that comes across. Really cool design for the helmet. Very nice, updated kind of look. Great molded detail with some vents and some buttons and things throughout the entire thing. Nice glossy kind of paint on there, but overall stellar looking. And then you come down to the shoulders and you have that black that kind of comes through. You got the logos right there on both of the shoulders, which looks really nice. You got a more black underbody and everything. You look at the rest of the body, and a lot of it is very much the same that we've seen before, but the additional black just really does grab me. I love that whole look. You can see some nice molded detail with the arms and such. These little pieces here are on little flexi bits, so you can move that out of the way. Nice detail with the armor, hard plastic all the way throughout. I do kind of feel like his belt isn't centered properly. Moving it over, I mean, you can kind of, you got this section here in the back that kind of prevents this from going over, but it's like I feel like that should be a little bit more centered. And that's a little bit better. You just kind of have to futz with it some to get it looking right, but in doing so, it puts this piece here kind of on the back of this, which I don't know. I don't know if I like that kind of just rubbing up on there, but leaving it kind of keeps that off to the side, so it's kind of weird. Like I showed you, you got the nice magnet section right here for his gun. Good detail, very clean looking throughout the rest of the armor. And then you come around to the little boots, and again, very nice detail. You can see on the under section here is this kind of rubberized body. Well, this is like rubberized right up here, and then the pants section here feels like it's kind of like a stretchy vinyl almost. It's really hard to tell because it's underneath all this, so it's kind of hard to really get a idea of what that's made out of, but you can see some rubber and everything down with the other joints. But you look up here at the shoulders, and some of that flexible sort of material like down here is up there as well. Overall, really very sharp, very nice, great detail, very clean, nice molded detail on the inside of his little forearm bits. I mean, overall, really very, very sharp. For his articulation, very well articulated. The armor actually isn't very limiting in it. The head is on a ball joint, so you get a nice swivel with it. It goes up, down, left, right, all sorts of directions. The actual shoulders here, though, also, it feels, I mean, there's like hardly any restriction there when you're moving it around. Maybe a little bit of an armpit problem, not really, but I mean, it gets going pretty good. And looking at the material again, it kind of flexes along the way, so you get a nice range of motion with it. He does rotate at the upper part of the bicep, but the armor does kind of move as well, so you have to be careful when you're doing it. The elbows have 2 points, but because you got that armor right there, it does kind of bump into each other, so you get a little bit more than a 90-degree bend, which should be basically all you need, but there are 2 points there. The armor here, you mostly do just get like a forward and back crunch, not really so much a rotation because it's oval shaped, so it doesn't really rotate, which is kind of unfortunate. But then you do have a bit of a flex point down here for the hip area. One thing that I like is these little pieces here are velcroed on, so you can kind of move these out of the way. Same thing with his little butt flap, it does kind of move out of the way a little bit, so you do get some forward and back. There is some restriction here, but you can feel that it's not because of the suit underneath, it's more because of the armor. It just kind of gets in the way of things. But pretty decent range of motion. I would imagine he does rotate at the upper part of the thigh, but again, it's kind of hard to get to because of all the little shell pieces. He does have 2 joints here at the knee, and then you come down to the ankles, and those are on nice ball joints, so you can really pivot those forward and back, side to side, kind of however you want. You can shift this up a little bit, get a little bit more extreme range, so just shimmy that right back down and keep that where it is. And I mean, in general, I'm really very happy with how this turned out. It's very, very simple, as every single stormtrooper has ever been in history. But just the splash of color with the black really does make this guy pop. But really, if you're a Star Wars fan, people go crazy for stormtroopers. They can never ever get enough of them. Whether it be army building the same exact one or adding different ones such as the Executioner, stormtroopers in general are insanely popular. Especially the ones that are a little bit different. And this one definitely is. The accessories, while fairly light on them, are basically what you would need. I mean, we don't know much about the Executioner just yet, so it's hard to tell whether or not he's missing something that he should come with. But I think the addition of his gun and obviously his giant energy axe is perfect for him. The updated look with the armor and additional splashes of color really do look great. It does nicely separate him from other stormtroopers. And like I said, just really makes the figure pop. One other part that I'm really pretty impressed with is that there's not a ton of restrictions in terms of his articulation. The material underneath the plastic armor really is nicely flexible, that allows you to move the limbs basically in any position that you would want. The only real restrictions come in kind of in the crotch area, I would say. And that's mostly just because in moving them around, the plastic armor pieces kind of bump into other parts. So it makes it a little bit harder to get a full range of motion, but that's not a limitation of the kind of material underneath the armor. I really feel that this is one of the most eye-catching and kind of impressive stormtroopers that I've seen to date. And I'm really very curious to see what kind of role he's going to play in The Last Jedi. So all that being said, if the Executioner is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he is available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Hot Toys Star Wars figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. It's free, and you'll get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you'll never miss out on a future review of mine. Or hey, if you're already subscribed, we all know just how unreliable that YouTube subscription box can be. And now more than ever, it's important to make sure that you get email notifications. So do me a real quick favor and click on that little bell right below this video and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, may the Force be with you.